Hello, welcome. I'm so happy you are here. Welcome to this video. I'm going to talk about some of the basics of the law of assumption and really what you need to know to start using this style of manifesting to create the life you want. Before I jump in, I want you to know that I have 3 free ebooks all about the law of assumption and many self-study manifesting courses, also all taught via the law of assumption, down in the description below. So there are courses to manifest new love or self-love or a specific person or money. Definitely check those out below and grab those 3 free ebooks if you want those as well. Okay, let's talk about the law of assumption. The law of assumption has become more popular in the past few years, and I understand why. I know for myself, as someone who's been even teaching manifesting before I knew of the law of assumption and was more teaching from a law of attraction standpoint, there really is something about the law of assumption that it helps manifesting click into place. It makes a lot more sense. It feels easier to apply. The results feel more consistent. And so, yeah, a lot of people are kind of transitioning from law of attraction over to law of assumption. So what is it? How is it different from law of attraction? Well, there's a reason it's called the law of assumption. What is an assumption? An assumption essentially is your belief. What do you believe to be true? What do you believe is going to be true? What is your embodied belief about who you are and about what you have in your life? That's what an assumption is. So different than the law of attraction, I think the law of attraction kind of focuses on almost you being separate from things in your 3D reality and holding a particular vibration to bring things to you. The law of assumption works a little differently. It's saying that who you are being is what's creating your reality. So our work, it's not so much attraction necessarily, although it can look like that's what's happening because things will start to come to you, but it's actually who you are being within, who you assume you are, what you assume is true for you, what you assume you have is what you create. You project it onto the screen of space, which is your life. So it goes like this. In the law of the assumption, our focus is on self. There's no one to change but self, is what Neville Goddard said. And that's one of his lessons. And the reason that is a core lesson is because yourself, who you are being, is what is creating the matching reality. So we want to focus less on vibration and less on, what we're even calling into ourselves. And we want to focus more in the law of assumption on asking ourselves, who would I be if I already had my desire? That is the core key question for you to ask yourself. Honestly, if you're practicing law of assumption, I would pause the video and write that down. Who would I be if I already had my desire? Who would I be if I already had my desire? This is the most important question you could ask yourself. Why is it the most important question? Because who you are being is going to dictate your reality. If you are being someone that is beautiful, if you are being someone who is a catch, if you are being someone who is chosen by the person of your dreams, if you are being someone who is loved and adored, if you are being that person now, you will naturally create a reality where that is what happens to you. That is how the law of assumption works. So how do you be that person now? Well, we are using our inner world. Neville Goddard would call it the imagination. I usually call it the inner world. It's the same thing. What is your imagination? What is your inner world? It's what's going on inside of you. So it includes your thoughts. It includes how you feel. It includes what you imagine is true for you. So when we're practicing the law of assumption, we are using our imagination to literally, imagine or transport ourselves into this pretend scenario that we already are this person who has our desire. So if you're manifesting a relationship, your work is to imagine yourself in the relationship now. You can imagine yourself in tiny little imaginal acts. Maybe you're walking down the street holding the hand of your person, of your love. Maybe your love is knocking on your door and picking you up for a date. Maybe you're out to dinner, sitting across the table from each other, just looking in each other's eyes. It doesn't matter what these scenes are. The scenes doesn't matter. Like the affirmation doesn't matter. The specifics of the techniques that you are doing don't matter. All that matters with any law of assumption technique that you're doing is that in that moment, it transports you into a state where you feel like you already are the person who has your desire. You feel like you're already in that relationship. You feel like you're already wealthy. You are that new version of yourself. Once you figure out how to feel like that version of yourself, or you're starting to dial in, oh, this scene really makes me feel like I'm in the relationship, or when I imagine this, or I like imagining my person saying these things to me, or I like writing out or scripting an experience where we go on a date and it's incredible. It doesn't matter what technique you're doing, it's always, how does the technique make you feel? Is it transporting you into feeling like that new version of you? The reason that's important is because, again, that new version of you is what creates the reality. You are stepping in the new version of yourself to create a new reality in your 3D reality. So once you kind of figure out who you want to be and what you want to be receiving, your job is to practice these techniques, these exercises, anything that makes you feel like you are that version of yourself. You're pretending, you're taking on a new self-concept. That's what it's called. You're taking on a new knowing of yourself, a new identity. As you step into that new identity, you are going to have new experiences that match who you are being. So your job as someone who's practicing law of assumption is to decide, first of all, what do I want to create in my reality? Great, you get the answers to that. What do I want for money? What do I want for romantic relationship? What do I want for friendships? What do I want for lifestyle? Any category you want, list out what do you want. After you see what you want, you have to ask yourself, well, if I already had that thing, who would I be? What thoughts would I have? How would I feel? How would I be walking around in the world? When you get clear on that, start practicing those thoughts, practicing the imaginal acts, practicing acting as if. This is everything that I teach in every single one of my courses, because the purpose of my courses is to help you step into that version of yourself. That's always what you're doing when you're manifesting, okay? So this is a snapshot of the law of assumption. Who you believe you are is what you're going to create in your life. Start doing affirmations, imaginal acts, inner conversations, scripting, acting as if, any type of technique that helps you really step into thinking and feeling like that version of yourself right now. Practice being that version of yourself, and you will create a reality where you have everything that that version of yourself would naturally have, okay? Thank you for being here with me in this video. I love being here with you. I will see you soon. Bye.